Hey, and welcome back to episode 6 of my Raw Nationals prep series. This video is all of my training from my 5th week of prep. This video is going to be a little different from the rest of the videos, and in this one I'm just going to be doing a voiceover talking about my reflections of the movement on screen and what cues or tips I have for each of them. So I hope this video is helpful. Let me know if you like this sort of video. So the first movement of my training week has been the front squat. It's made huge improvements since I first introduced it, and as the weight begins to increase, it's getting harder to maintain the upright position along with the mechanics still being wonky. This movement is different than just a regular squat, and for me to quantify RPE on these sets is more based on my ability to maintain the position rather than the actual bar speed. What I think when I'm executing the front squat is to focus mainly on the chest and elbows as I come up, really maintaining that front rack position. But overall, training has been going pretty well. Definitely building momentum week to week now. Recoverability is improving also as well. It just took me a longer time to get used to the stimulus because I was really doing nothing before I started training prep. Bench pressing has been feeling really good. I really like all of the variations I've been implementing into my training, and like the one I really like the most is actually just the pin press. This chest level pin press has been really helping me out a lot with my positioning and my ability to get the weight off my chest right away. The thing about the pin press is that it really rewards good movement and really punishes bad movement. So it really has a good positive reinforcement as far as the movement goes, because if you're not doing it correctly, you'll suffer. The movement will suffer and it won't feel good, but every time you land the bar perfectly on your chest, it'll press right off very well. Deadlift is progressing very well too. It's been feeling really good. My top set this week was 565 for a double, and I usually use 495 as my benchmarker, and then for the second right after 495 I always go 545, and that's usually to tell me whether or not I can go out this week or to auto-regulate accordingly. But week to week I always try to add more pounds to my top set. I've been concluding after my top set, deadlift training is finished with a couple sets of 5 and then some volume work afterwards. And with volume, it just gives me another opportunity to just really focus on my technique and really dial in some of the finer nuances with the movement itself. Deadlift is something for me that clicks pretty naturally. Right here we have some pause squatting. Squatting for me, especially the back squat, has been feeling pretty iffy. It just hasn't been feeling natural, and I've been having some issues with my knee as of late. So pause squatting for me is usually my bread and butter, but right now it's not feeling pretty good. For me personally, if I have any injuries or anything lingering around, that messes with me a lot mentally. And getting over that mental barrier is quite a challenge for me personally. So looking to improve on this next week, and also improving the pausing itself, because I'm not really taking advantage of the variation inherently. I believe this is some long pause bench pressing, supposedly 3 count pauses. I do a quick 1, 2, 3 in my head before I press, and having an extra long pause during the week has been helping me a lot, because one of the main things I lacked in most of my training prior to any real periodized training was just pausing it, and that was one of the biggest issues I had in competition, which was maintaining the pause and executing after I get the press command. So really focusing on long pauses is helping a lot. Right here is some spoto pressing. I can get into spoto pressing in the future, but it's really something I need to experiment more with to really see and tell you guys if it's something I really like. Right here was a really big moment for me as far as squatting goes, because this is my 4th day of the week of training, and my top set was 495, a really great benchmarker for me, and the first time in the past 5 weeks that my squat has actually been feeling really good. So a double at 495 is a really good sign this far out of competition. But with my back down sets, with a little bit of acute fatigue, the squats weren't feeling nearly as good as my top set, but you know, that's something to work on in the future, especially going into the next week. Just building off each training day and getting just 1% better day to day is my immediate goal right now. Practicing some competition pausing on the bench press here. Bench frequency is super high, bench volume is super high, and it's been working wonders. Handling 315 plus more regularly now, and it's giving me a lot of confidence this prep. That's it for this episode. It was kind of fast. I probably should re-edit the footage a little better next time, but if you guys like this sort of style of videos, just having me talk about sort of training and all the things that go through my mind, let me know if you like this. Thanks for watching. I'll check in with you guys soon.